These people are going to tell you exactly about DiNA. And these are Mrs. Audrey Mowdy and Francis Mana. Can you please come up here?
Good evening. We did put a PowerPoint presentation for you. However, the projector's not working, so we're going to speak to you about what DiNA is all about. So I know that some of the questions that came out and we heard was, why did we call it DiNA? Why is it called Diaspora Initiative of North America? For us, diaspora means everybody. That's including Africans and African Americans. So one of the concepts of this whole initiative is also bringing Africans and African Americans together. So that's why it's the Diaspora Initiative of North America.
Yeah, the center itself is about telling our own story. It's been a long time, everybody in the world telling African stories, but the Africans have not been able to tell our own stories. This center is going to be one of the places where we should be able to put all our stories the way it's supposed to be told, and how it's supposed to be told, and who it's supposed to be told to. That we can get all this history that Mr. Dabo was just talking about. I mean, a lot of things all Sierra Leoneans or all Africans has is just didn't say. They never really got to the bottom line and get the fact. This is one of the reasons why this center is going to be for all these activities. It's going to be for schooling, help the young kids that are coming after us to know exactly what have been done and what have not been done. That's what the center is for. And also, all presidents or everybody else who have done anything good or bad in our country, when you write in history, you can't take away anything. So for those who say, well, Pashaki didn't do nothing, or Pashaki did this, or my guy did this, or my guy didn't do that, all that going to be on paper, on history, for all the kids coming back after us, after our generation, to be able to read that and know their history. Right now, our children here don't even know who Shaki Stephen is. But if we start putting these things on paper and circulating it around, then we start teaching them the right history. The history they're teaching them today is another person's history. That's why they call his story, their story. Our story is mystery, my story. And that's our story we're trying to tell for this center. And for all those who are against the center, they are only against it because of their own view. But when you have an educational center like that, where people can come in and just from everywhere, every walk of life, and be able to look on a piece of paper and see the history of our country, beautiful Sierra Leone, then they will come back with the knowledge of knowing what Sierra Leone is about. That's one of the reasons for the center, and also for people to be able to know that the educational system that we have here for our kids is not helping us because they don't know. When I ask my kids about Sierra Leone or Africa as a whole, they always say, I'm not going to Africa, because they don't know anything about Africa. All they have told about Africa is people in the jungle running around with no clothes. And when we come here, some of us know how to dress better than these people who were here. So it's time for us to start telling the story right. And this is one of the pieces of the center. There's a lot of people that I know. I go to Africa every often. I take African Americans with me to not Sierra Leone, but Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo. And some of them go there and actually see the reality. And when they come back, they are fresh in the knowledge that they have about Africa. And some of them, up to today, they're going back and forth to Africa just for that reason. So we're trying to make this center to be that center where Sierra Leone, people can go to Sierra Leone and be able to come back and say, wow, that's a beautiful country and beautiful people as well.
Thanks, Francis. And as for the name, the Shaka Stevens Center, we chose that not just because of Mama John, but it's significant. Shaka Stevens is the first president. That's the first significance. He's also a freedom fighter. And what I mean by that, he got Sierra Leone their freedom, civil rights, their freedom away from England. So what's interesting, though, that we found out and we looked at was the parallel between Shaka Stevens and Martin Luther King. we realized that they were doing these two features at the exact same time. That's very significant. So I don't know how God works, but it's interesting to me that he have two great men at the same time doing the same thing, trying to free our people. That's significant. So the center will consist of an auditorium, that's one feature, the library, that's another feature, the museum, that's another feature, and last but not least, a conflict resolution building. We realized the need for that building to be in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is known for blood diamonds, but not known for peace. And once I went to Sierra Leone and I seen how peaceful the people were, it's totally different from what everybody's saying and what the news is saying. The people were so loving and peaceful and so kind. So the picture is distorted here in America, so it's significant. We want to bring tourism to Sierra Leone, and the center will provide that tourism base for Sierra Leone also.
And also the center also going to consist of gender equality. You know, a lot of times we Africans, we leave our women behind. But what we don't know, our women are the most intricate part of our life. If there's anything you're doing without a play of a woman, it's not going to go nowhere. So by them being included, it's going to help us to see the other side of our politics. Women are the ones that brought us here, and they don't want to know what goes on or what don't go on. If we leave them behind, we're leaving the history, part of the history behind. So that's going to be another part of the center, where we're going to have to teach women or teach people to be able to come together as one, whether you're a woman or man. If you qualify enough to do anything, you will be chosen. You will not be discriminated because you are a woman. All that equality will be taught in this center and will be put in this center. We have people that are going to help us bring this together. And for all of you guys here, what we're going to do is that we're going to try to launch this also in different places in Europe, and later on end up in Africa launching it in Sierra Leone. Like she was talking about the tourism, we're going to start the tourism straight right now. We have people already ready want to go to Sierra Leone, but they don't know how. They don't know where. They don't even know what flight go to Sierra Leone. So we are trying to put all those things together, brochures, and teach them. The gentlemen that you see with the video here, we have talked to them. We're going to take them to Sierra Leone, and they're going to start shooting most of the most beautiful part of Sierra Leone and be shared to the world. I mean, you see the Jamaican, I'm not trying to put Jamaica down, but One Love, when they start showing you the beaches in Jamaica, One Love, Sweet Love, Bob Marley. I mean, look, Sierra Leone, we have millions of those type of places, but it's not shown. And we're all here. You know, we see this thing day in, day out on this TV. So this is part of the things that we're trying to do here. You guys being here, and we thank you for coming. I was expecting more people to show up, but again, like he said, many are called, but few are choosing. You guys are here because you relate to this story just like we are relating to this story.
And lastly, to give you a description of the center, we were looking at least at 200,000 square feet to start. Yes, very large. We weren't looking at anything small. And for that, to have a second floor, because we also wanted a reading room in there, a cinema room with a history vault. We were looking at also a cafe in there, also a gift shop on the rooftop, because it is so sunny and different things can go on there. The children need a place to learn about agriculture. One thing about agriculture, we're always going to need to eat, but as children grow up, they don't want to farm anymore. Their parents may be farmers, but they move away as everything develops. So you have to kind of have that thought process in the back of your mind. So we thought about a rooftop gardens where the children from the schools can get involved and actually get an interest back in agriculture. So those are some of the descriptive things that we were talking about, and we are excited about this project, and we hope that you will join us in developing this project further. Thank you.